Hi, welcome to In the Kitchen with South Custom Tackle, a new adventure we're on. So we're going to start filming kitchen adventures. We love cooking for our families. Our first one today. Got Gill Slayer Dave, father-in-law. Milo is going to help out. We're making brats, so we're going to take pork shoulders, bone in, seasoning, and casings, and turn them into a delicious product. So stay tuned. We're going to take you on the adventure. All right, so now we're working on deboning the pork. I'll show you basically how I debone these. There's kind of like a curved bone here. This is part of the shoulder. What I do is I try to fillet down the top of it. I go around, and this is the same for how we make bacon, which will be a later video. I'll go around, come up, go around that knuckle, flip it around, start on the other side of that bone. When you're using pork through a grinder, any meat, you want to kind of use a long strip. It's then it pulls through the grinder. It doesn't work as hard to chew it up.
Sharp knife when you're doing this.
And a sharp knife. Easiest way to lose a finger is using a dull knife in the kitchen. You got a nice slab here. You'll see on the later video how we make our homemade bacon is out of pork butts. We buy them in bulk when they go on sale, and then use them for bacon, brats, hot dogs, snack sticks, along with venison. On that. The other thing I do is I leave some meat on the bone, and then what I'll do is I'll turn around and I'll take these bones, salt them up really good, and smoke them, just the bones, for a couple hours, and then turn around and boil that down, and then make a pork and veggie soup, smoked pork and veggie soup. Pretty dynamite. Maybe you'll see a video for that here in the future too. Who knows? Not pretty today. We're not making bacon. We don't need a perfect loaf. I like to leave some extra meat on the bone. So there. Save that with the extra meat. It'll boil off perfect when you make that soup. Mm-hmm. So then you just cut off that other part of the bone, knuckle, and just cut it in strips so the grinder can pull it. These batches are 25-pound batches of brats, so it'll be 25 pounds of straight pork. You could do beef, you could do venison, like a 60-40 mix, but we just do straight pork. And we'll grind it. You'll see that next. Blend in the seasoning and stuff it.
And that's what we're doing later too.
Yep.
Doesn't have to be pretty, it's just got to be cut.
Yep. Just like that. Some of these might be a little thick. It's a good strip to run through.
It's too done.
Yep, so probably 8-9 pound shoulders, 2 of them done, 15 pounds of meat probably, just a matter of minutes. All right, now that we got our 2 batches, we got 25 pounds in each stainless bowl, ready for the grind. We're gonna pound them through the grinder on a medium coarse. We like a little chewed brat, so you could go fine grind if you want. I usually use that for snack sticks and hot dogs, but we're gonna run it through the grinder, show you guys how it goes. It is good to, when you do cut up, it's more firm. Like, just pull it out of the freezer a day or 2 before. It grinds a lot better when it's partially frozen. Any meat you're dealing with, so chicken, pork, venison.
Or throw it back outside for a couple hours before you cut it up. Exactly.
Like right now in Wisconsin, it's -4 degrees, so that's a freezer itself. So we're gonna grind it and follow along. All right, so into the beer and caramelized onion brat, we're going to add real caramelized onions. So I'm going to cut up 1 red and 2 large sweet Vidalia onions, and reduce them down with butter, a little bit of maple syrup, and of course beer. You use a hometown kid Point Special. So let's get going on this. One tip I'd like to show you here: when you're cutting an onion, I usually cut it in half the long way after you peel it. And then one way I found to avoid cutting your fingers, so if you cut this way, that, and you turn it, you always cut uphill. Once you get to the top of that hill, you start cutting down, that's when the knife can slide. So what I do, turn it around, and it seems to cut better, and you get one more through that middle there. Otherwise that knife slides down that edge. Sometimes it's not sharp enough, and that's when it can whack you on the finger. Ooh, these are making my eyes water. All right, so we got all the pork ground, 25 pounds, 25 pounds. We try to keep it covered so it stays moist, doesn't dry out the top. And so first one we're going to do is a Cajun style brat seasoning. I believe these are from PF Seasonings. And then to add some liquid into, we're going to add some beer, some Point beer. So what we'll do is Dave will mix, and I will throw seasoning in, add moisture as we need it.
Yeah, you don't throw it all in at one time. You got to take a little at a time and mix.
Oh, that already smells really good. You could buy a mixer, but this is just as easy. Get a good forearm workout too.
But this is cheaper.
Yeah, exactly.
You just have to keep turning it over.
Yep. A little more seasoning. So these batches are made for 25 pounds. The whole pack. You don't have to measure out any increments of cure, insta-cure, or add this and that to different batches.
All in one package.
25 pounds. We've never done the Cajun before. Had pretty good reviews, so we're pretty excited. I forgot to mention that when you're stuffing natural casings, you want to soak them. We've got hog casings, I believe they're 32 to 35 millimeter, if I remember right. Soaking in the sink about 15 minutes now. Bag says 45 to 50 minutes. We usually start about a half hour because by the time you pull one out, stuff it, and you do the next one, you're in that ballpark. So make sure you soak them in warm water. Stuff a lot easier. They're not going to rip. And you'll get your rips and tears on your first one or two sometimes.
Yeah, no big deal.
Stuff. Those are good for the grill right away, which we're planning on grilling fresh brats for the Packer playoff game today. There, that's all with seasoning. Could add in your own pepper blend, or if you want some cheese, anything else. Let's top off that beer. All right, now we're gonna fill a stuffer. We have a Lem 10-pound sausage stuffer. You don't need anything super fancy. Nice equipment helps. So what we'll do here is we'll fill the tube up, and then there's an air release screw on here, so you don't want it too tight that when you're pushing down, the air can pop out of here. Otherwise, you get a lot of air in your brats. Stuff it in big footballs.
Work it down.
Yep. You kind of knead the air out of it. Smells good. Should almost do it. We usually do test patties too. If we add in a lot for our own stuff like peppers or something else. We'll do test patties to make sure that
A good idea to keep track of anything and everything you add to it so you can make a record of it for the next time,
right.
To avoid any mistakes.
Yeah. You hate to do a whole 25-pound batch and be like, well, that's mediocre.
What can I do different?
Right. All right, so that's full. We're going to put it on the stuffer. And next you'll see we'll pull the casings out. All right, so we got the casing loaded. He's going to press it down, get the air out. Once the air is out of the casing, we got meat coming. Or hold it back a little bit. I'll tie this off. First casing is usually the roughest, so we'll see how it goes, but relearn every year what we're doing wrong. Yeah, you don't want them super firm right now because you want to twist them and they are going to expand once you put them on the grill. You want them full. You can always, when you get air bubbles, you can always prick them with a knife or a pin. That's it. All right. So I'm going to pull out some extra casing here. Just when we massage, we'll probably need some, and we'll need some for tying off. So let's about a foot. Let's go right there. All right. I'm going to start from the other end. Dave can load that. I'll start twisting this batch up. It's always good to have a moist counter too. Makes everything slide a little bit better. You can see here. I'll do is the way I do it is kind of go.
Stir the onions too.
You go every other. So twist one way, 3 or 4 times, and then this one. Next one you twist the opposite way. And I always mess it up so it'll unravel the first one. Next one, back the other way, about a finger length. At least for me. Back this way.
I'll go check the onion.
And then this one here, back that way. They're not perfect, but they're homemade. And go about there. Back that way. And here. Back this way. This way and that. Try to keep in your head this way and that, or whatever you can. All right, last batch. We're going to do the Badger Brat. It's like a caramelized onion and ale season, so of course we're going to add more. And our caramelized onions that we caramelized before. Well, that's it. 50 pounds. We got 25 pounds of the Badger Brat with the caramelized onions. Extra beer. We got Cajun with beer. So next step is to test them. So you'll see that next.
From boning to grinding to seasoning to packaging.
Yeah, and cleaning in between.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Now let's eat.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
That's real good.
All right, the best part, we're going to throw them on the grill. It is cold. Let's go. Packers are smoking Dallas. Cowgirls. It is -4 degrees out here. Woo. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but turn on the headlamp. So I'm running a Rectech Bullseye. And if you're cooking brats, you always want to go low and slow. I got the grill set to about 300 right now, just to fire them off. Running mushroom and cheese from last year that we made. And the ones we made today, the Badger Brat with the caramelized onion, handful of those, Misfits. I always cook the Misfits up. And then we've got our Cajun, couple of Cajun, good for leftovers for lunch tomorrow. But yeah, that's what we do. Got the grill set to, I'm going to turn it down to about 300. You never want to break the casing, so you want them to get you in closer here with some light. You can see I'm running a pellet grill. I got pecan, hickory, and oak combo I blend. But yeah, that's what we do. Let's get them going. All right, it's been about 8-9 minutes. We're going to come out, take a peek. Like I said, you want them to pop, so they're looking good. They're starting to size up a little bit. We're going to give them a little bit of a flip here. Ooh, that's all you want. Just some solid grill marks. I'm actually going to turn them down. I don't like that they're this far on 8 or 10 minutes. There's definitely hot spots on every grill, and this one is on the south side here. Oops, sorry. I'll move these guys over here. We're going to bring them down. Go down to 250. See? All right, let's go grab these puppies. It's time to eat. Packers are up. Game's almost over. There's the grill. Turn this baby down. Oh, look at that. Mushroom cheddar from last year. Dynamite. They're just sizzling out the ends. They're not burst. Mushroom cheddars. Got some dogs for the kids. Here's our woohoo. Nice looking badgers. Handful of Cajuns. Solid. Nice color to them. You'll see more under the stove lights here, folks.